Kelly and Smith were 13 years old when they were discovered in 1991 at an Atlanta mall by producer Jermaine Dupri.
A journey that starts with a kid spitting rhymes on the playground catapults him to the throne of rap royalty at the tender age of 13. Then, like a cruel twist of fate, the journey spirals into the abyss of drug addiction, ultimately claiming his life at 34. It's a narrative that practically begs for a connecting line, a cause and effect, a story that writes itself, A to B. But with Kriss Kross, controversies, criticism, and rumors have made it difficult to find reliable sources about what really happened behind the scenes. However, this video will shed some light on the heartbreaking story of Kriss Kross, the fatal end. Let's go back to 2013 with TMZ, where they shared a sneak peek of a chaotic scene captured secretly. It's not a typical party. It's more like the aftermath of a wild night. The once lively house is now quiet, with a few people lingering around a messy kitchen table. They look chaotic, confused, and soaked in the early morning light. These aren't happy partygoers. They're just trying to figure out how to get home. TMZ blur out everyone's face in this video except for one person. He's a standout, looking youthful and full of energy. The camera focuses on him, and for a moment, he becomes the star. Even though he's just as drunk as everyone else, something special happens when the spotlight is on him. He turns into the center of a spontaneous show, rapping and dancing perfectly in tune with the background music. You've probably felt it before. It's not about having fun anymore. It's about avoiding the upcoming morning's reality. But like all passing moments, the feeling fades. The beat of the song slips away, the camera loses its appeal, and he returns to the fading memories of the night. As the camera keeps exploring, it finds a wall covered with awards, gold, and platinum discs, each telling a story of success. One in particular stands out. To Kriss Kelly for selling 500,000 copies of the album Totally Crossed Out. Tragically, shortly after this video was taken, Kriss Kelly was found unresponsive. He was rushed to Atlanta Medical Center but was pronounced dead later that day. A deadly mix of cocaine and heroin took his life on April 29, 2013, exactly 21 years after Jump became a chart-topping hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Many people mourned the loss of Kriss Kelly, and Jermaine Dupri, the maestro who unearthed Kriss Kross in their Atlanta roots, felt the hit. In a heartfelt letter to fans, Dupri painted a vivid picture of the duo's shared journey, noting that he spent more time with Kriss Kelly and Chris Smith than nearly anyone in his entire life. The pain of this loss, he admitted, cut deep. He went on to share the profound impact Kelly had on him, emphasizing how much Kriss taught him, turning the mentorship dynamic on its head. Dupri said, "To the world, Kriss was McDaddy, but to me, he was a son I never had. As much as you may think I taught him, he taught me. God has blessed me to be in the presence of so many naturally talented people, and Kriss was one. His understanding of what we set out to do from day one was always on point. His passion for music, his love for doing shows, his want to better than everyone else was always turned up. When I think about it, I spent more time with Kriss and Chris Smith than damn near anybody in my whole life, so you can imagine how bad this hurts. I will always love you, Kriss, and I will never let the world forget you. May God bless you." Lil Jon, reflecting on a recent joint performance at Jermaine Dupri's So Def 20th anniversary celebration, expressed his shock at Kelly's sudden departure. He said the memories of Kriss Kross hitting the stage together after so many years made the news even more jarring. Lil Jon recalled, "We actually all performed on the same stage about a month or two ago. Jermaine Dupri had his 20th anniversary for So Def, and they opened up the show. It was good to see Kriss Kross together doing their thing after so long. It's a shock that this happened today." As the news rippled through the industry, tributes poured in on Twitter. Nicki Minaj sent love to Kriss Kelly's family, while Ludacris, citing Kriss Kross as a childhood inspiration, bid farewell to a fellow rapper. LL Cool J dedicated the iconic Jump to Kriss Kelly, asking for divine solace for his soul and family. Monica extended her condolences, hoping that the peace of God would comfort Kelly's family and loved ones. Big Boy kept it brief, offering a simple yet powerful R.I.P. Kriss Kelly. The Brat, recognizing Kriss Kross as part of her identity, paid tribute to Kelly's influence on her journey. Carrie Hilson echoed the sentiment that Kriss Kross lives on eternally in memories, thanking Kriss Kelly for the indelible mark left on the rap scene. His label, So Def Recordings in Atlanta, also shared a statement with the Atlanta Journal-Constitution to honor him. The statement said, "To millions of fans worldwide, he was the trend-setting, backwards pants-wearing one half of Kriss Kross who loved making music. But to us, he was just Kriss, the kind, generous, and fun-loving life of the party. Though he was only with us a short time, we feel blessed to have been able to share some incredible moments with him. His legacy will live on through his music, and we will forever love him." In this chorus of farewells, the collective voice of the music community rises to honor honor the fallen artist. Some argued that this tragedy was a reminder of the dangers that come with fame, particularly those who find success at a young age. It also raised questions about the support and guidance available to young stars in the industry. While the exact circumstances leading to Kelly's substance abuse and eventual overdose remain unclear, it is evident that the pressures of fame and the challenges of transitioning from a child star to an adult artist took a toll on him. The struggles he faced show the need for better support systems and resources for young celebrities. The entertainment industry has a long history of exploiting young talent, often thrusting them into the spotlight without adequate support or guidance. From the moment they burst onto the scene, Kriss Kross faced immense pressure to maintain their success and live up to the expectations placed upon them. The transition from child celebrities to adult artists is a challenging one, and Kriss Kross was rumored to lack the necessary support. Following Chris Kelly's death, Chris Smith, the other half of the Kriss Kross duo, is less in the spotlight but is still involved in arts and entertainment with Urbane Muse. Celebrity Net Worth estimates Smith's personal fortune to be around $200,000. People say the group was already dead way before Chris Kelly's death. Exploring their story from the start will help understand why. Rise to fame. In the early 1990s, the music industry was dominated by hardcore rap sounds from the East and West Coasts. But amidst this landscape, a dynamic duo was forming in the vibrant city of Atlanta, Georgia. It began with two young boys who would go on to become the iconic hip-hop duo known as Kriss Kross. Chris Kelly, born in August 1978, and Chris Smith, born in January 1979, were destined to make their mark on the music industry. Chris Kelly, originally from New Jersey, found himself in Atlanta during his grade school years. It was there that he would meet Chris Smith, a popular figure in the area due to his older brother attending the same school. The two boys crossed paths in the first grade and instantly formed a bond that would shape their future. With their high-top fades, fresh sneakers, and stylish clothes, Chris Kelly and Chris Smith were the epitome of cool. They had a magnetic presence that attracted attention wherever they went. Their confidence and swagger made them heartthrobs among their peers, and they quickly became known for their ability to charm the girls. But it wasn't just their fashion sense that set them apart. Chris Kelly and Chris Smith attended school with other aspiring hip-hop artists, including the likes of Young D.R.O. and T.I. The West Side of Atlanta was a breeding ground for talent, and these young artists were all part of a vibrant music scene that would soon take the world by storm. Their rise to superstardom began in 1991 when an Atlanta-based producer named Jermaine Dupri was managing a group called Silk Times Leather. One fateful day, Dupri and the band were shopping at a local mall when they were approached by two kids asking for autographs. Those kids were Chris McDaddy Kelly and Chris Daddy Mac Smith. Dupri, himself a child prodigy in the music industry, immediately recognized something special in these young boys. Despite having no prior experience in performing, he saw their potential and signed them on the spot. Thus, the Kriss Kross brand was born. Inspired by the success of Another Bad Creation, a group of young rappers who had made waves in the industry, Dupri decided to give Kriss Kross their own unique twist. While Another Bad Creation wore their clothes inside out, Kriss Kross took it a step further by wearing their clothes back to front. It was a playful jab at their predecessors and a gimmick that would soon become their trademark. Under Dupri's guidance, Kriss Kross began to hone their skills and develop their unique sound. Dupri played a pivotal role in their career, writing their rhymes and telling their story through his music. He saw the potential in their youthful energy and charisma, and he knew that they had what it took to make a lasting impact. In 1991, Kriss Kross recorded their first song, Little Boys in the Hood. The song showcased their talent and caught the attention of record labels. It wasn't long before they were signed to a major record deal. Building on the success of their debut single, Kriss Kross went on to record their first album, Totally Crossed Out. Released in 1992, the album featured their breakout hit single, Jump. Jump was a game changer in every sense of the word. The infectious beat, built on 10 different samples, ranging from Jackson 5's I Want You Back to Cypress Hill's I Could Just Kill a Man, captivated listeners from the very first note. Jump quickly took the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100 and stayed there for an impressive 8 weeks. Their album, Totally Crossed Out, went on to sell an astonishing 5 million copies. It solidified their status as hip-hop superstars. They were in high demand, performing at sold-out venues and making appearances on popular talk shows. Their talent and charisma even caught the attention of the legendary Michael Jackson. MJ invited Kriss Kross to join him on his world tour. Getting to tour with one of the greatest entertainers ever showed how talented they were and the influence they had in the industry. But with fame came criticism and haters. Some dismissed Kriss Kross as a novelty act, attributing their success to their youthful image image rather than their musical abilities. However, the duo remained unfazed by the naysayers. Kriss Kross didn't just make waves in the music industry, they also left an indelible mark on the fashion world. Their unique sense of style and trend-setting fashion choices made them icons in the world of popular culture. From the moment they burst onto the scene with their high-top fades and fresh sneakers, Kriss Kross became a fashion trendsetter. They took risks with their clothing, pushing boundaries and challenging traditional fashion norms. But it was their signature move of wearing their clothes backward that truly set them apart. The backward clothing trend became synonymous with Kriss Kross. It was a bold and unconventional choice that captured the attention of fans and fashion enthusiasts alike. Their fearless approach to fashion inspired a generation to think outside the box and embrace their individuality. The impact of Kriss Kross's fashion choices extended far beyond their music videos and performances. Their influence could be seen on the streets as fans of all ages began emulating their style. Backward clothing became a symbol of rebellion and self-expression, a way for individuals to stand out from the crowd. The fashion industry took notice of Kriss Kross's unique style and began incorporating elements of their look into their designs. Designers drew inspiration from the duo's bold fashion choices, incorporating oversized clothing, baggy pants, and unconventional silhouettes into their collections. Kriss Kross's impact on the fashion industry was undeniable. They challenged the status quo and redefined what it meant to be fashionable. Their influence can still be seen today as artists and fashion enthusiasts continue to draw inspiration from their iconic style. But Kriss Kross's impact wasn't limited to the fashion world. They were cultural icons who transcended boundaries. Their music and style became synonymous with the 1990s, a decade defined by its vibrant and eclectic mix of influences. Their music videos were a visual feast, filled with energetic dance routines, eye-catching fashion, and a sense of youthful exuberance. They brought a fresh and innovative approach to hip-hop, blending catchy hooks with infectious beats that had audiences hooked. Their shows were a spectacle, filled with high-energy dance routines and infectious beats that had the crowd on their feet. Their music and style became a reflection of the time, capturing the spirit of a generation. They spoke to the hopes, dreams, and struggles of young people. Their lyrics resonated with fans from all walks of life, transcending boundaries of race, age, and background. But with great success comes great pressure, especially for young stars thrust into the spotlight at such a tender age. Kriss Kross faced the daunting task of living up to their early triumphs and maintaining their status as rap sensations. The pressure to replicate the success of Jump weighed heavily on their shoulders. Despite their best efforts, Kriss Kross struggled to replicate the massive success of their debut single. Their second album, They Bomb, failed to achieve the same level of commercial success, although it still sold respectably. Their third and final album, Young, Rich, and Amp Dangerous, introduced a more mature sound but sold only 500,000 units. By the time Chris Kelly and Chris Smith reached the age of 18, they were considered has-beens in the music industry. The transition from child celebrities to adult artists proved to be a challenging one, and they struggled to find their place in an ever-evolving industry. Their rise to fame was meteoric, but their fall from grace was equally swift. The pressures of maintaining success, combined with the personal struggles that often accompany fame, took a toll on the young duo. During the height of their fame, whispers of substance abuse issues began to circulate. These rumors suggested that the young duo was grappling with addiction even during their early teens, a time when they should have been enjoying the fruits of their success. While these rumors were never confirmed, they cast a shadow over their image and raised questions about the pressures they faced as child stars. The music industry, particularly during the 1990s, was notorious for its exploitative nature, especially when it came to young artists. Kriss Kross, like many child stars, may have fallen victim to the darker side of the industry. Widespread rumors of sexual exploitation haunted the duo, but due to the lack of concrete evidence or individuals coming forward, the truth remains elusive. After their run as a duo, Kriss Kross decided to take a break and pursue their own individual interests. Chris Kelly and Chris Smith embarked on separate journeys. Chris Kelly, known as McDaddy, went on to attend college and explore new avenues in the music industry. Meanwhile, Chris Smith, known as Daddy Mac, ventured into the world of fashion. He launched his clothing line, drawing inspiration from his unique sense of style and the fashion trends he had helped popularize. Chris Smith's entrepreneurial spirit and creative vision propelled him to new heights in the fashion industry. Although they pursued their own individual endeavors, the bond between Chris Kelly and Chris Smith remained unbreakable. They continued to support and inspire each other, even as they explored different paths. Their friendship was the foundation of their success, and it remained a constant source of strength throughout their lives. In February 2013, Kriss Kross reunited for a final show, giving fans one last opportunity to experience their iconic music live. Tragically, just months after the reunion, Chris Kelly passed away in May 2013. Is hip-hop moving in circles? Chris Kelly wasn't the only iconic artist who fell victim to the dark side of fame and addiction. From the rock and roll excesses of the 1960s to the modern-day struggles, let's uncover some of them. Let's start with the legendary Jimi Hendrix. He was a legendary guitarist and singer-songwriter, often hailed as one of the greatest musicians of all time. Born in Seattle in 1942, Hendrix's innovative guitar playing and electrifying stage presence revolutionized rock music. However, behind the scenes, Hendrix battled with personal demons that ultimately led to his tragic demise. Hendrix's rise to fame began in the late 1960s as he gained recognition for his virtuosic guitar skills and unique sound. His performances at iconic music festivals like Woodstock and Monterey Pop Festival solidified his status as a cultural icon. But as his star continued to rise, so did his struggles with substance abuse. Throughout his career, Hendrix experimented with various drugs, including LSD, marijuana, and amphetamines. However, it was his increasing reliance on barbiturates and alcohol that would prove to be his downfall. The pressures of fame, coupled with a demanding touring schedule, took a toll on Hendrix's physical and mental well-being. On September 18, 1970, Hendrix was found unconscious in his London apartment. Despite efforts to revive him, he was pronounced dead at the age of 27. The official cause of death was ruled as asphyxia due to vomit inhalation after consuming a lethal combination of barbiturates and alcohol. Janis Joplin, known for her powerful and soulful voice, was a trailblazing figure in the music industry. Born in 1943 in Port Arthur, Texas, Joplin's raw talent and emotional performances captivated audiences around the world. However, her battle with addiction would ultimately cut her life tragically short. Joplin's rise to fame came in the late 1960s as the lead vocalist of the band Big Brother and the Holding Company. Her electrifying performances and bluesy vocal style set her apart from her contemporaries. With hits like Piece of My Heart and Me and Bobby McGee, Joplin became an icon of the counterculture movement. Behind her on-stage persona, Joplin struggled with substance abuse, particularly heroin and alcohol. The pressures of fame and the constant scrutiny took a toll on her mental and emotional well-being. Despite attempts to seek help and get clean, Joplin found it difficult to break free from the grip of addiction. On October 4, 1970, Joplin was found dead in her Hollywood hotel room. Cause of death was determined to be a heroin overdose. Amy Winehouse was another singer-songwriter whose struggles with addiction overshadowed her immense musical abilities. Born in London in 1983, Winehouse quickly rose to fame with her debut album, Frank, in 2003. Winehouse's unique blend of jazz, soul, and R&B garnered critical acclaim and a dedicated fan base. Her sophomore album, Back to Black, released in 2006, catapulted her to international stardom. Hits like Rehab and Back to Black showcased her powerful vocals and confessional songwriting. Despite her success, she battled with substance abuse and mental health issues. Her struggles with drugs, particularly heroin and crack cocaine, were widely publicized, leading to a tumultuous personal life and a decline in her overall well-being. On July 23, 2011, Amy Winehouse was found dead in her London home. The cause of death was determined to be alcohol poisoning. Kurt Cobain, the frontman of the iconic grunge band Nirvana, also struggled with addiction and mental health, which ultimately led to his tragic end. Born in 1967 in Aberdeen, Washington, Cobain's rise to fame in the early 1990s propelled him to become the voice of a generation. Nirvana's breakthrough album, Nevermind, released in 1991, catapulted the band to international fame. Cobain's haunting lyrics and distinctive guitar playing resonated with millions of fans worldwide. Hits like Smells Like Teen Spirit and Come As You Are became anthems of a disenchanted youth. Behind the scenes, Cobain battled with chronic pain, depression, and substance abuse. His use of heroin escalated, leading to a downward spiral in his personal life and overall well-being. On April 5, 1994, Cobain was found dead in his Seattle home. The official cause of death was ruled as suicide by a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Jim Morrison, the enigmatic frontman of The Doors, also died as a result of substance abuse. Born in 1943 in Melbourne, Florida, Morrison's unique blend of rock, blues, and psychedelic music made him an icon of the 1960s. Morrison's magnetic stage presence and provocative lyrics propelled The Doors to fame in the late 1960s. Hits like Light My Fire and Break On Through showcased Morrison's powerful vocals and his ability to push boundaries. His poetic and often introspective lyrics resonated with a generation seeking liberation and self-expression. Behind the scenes, Morrison battled with alcohol and drug addiction, particularly with substances like LSD LSD, and heroin. His excessive lifestyle and rebellious behavior often landed him in legal trouble and strained his relationships with bandmates and loved ones. On July 3, 1971, Morrison was found dead in his Paris apartment. The official cause of death was listed as heart failure, although the circumstances surrounding his passing remain shrouded in mystery. Whitney Houston, often referred to as The Voice, was a powerhouse vocalist who dominated the music industry with her incredible vocal range and soulful performances. Born in 1963 in Newark, New Jersey, Houston's talent and beauty captivated audiences. However, her struggles with addiction would overshadow her immense talent and lead to her tragic downfall. Houston's rise to fame came in the 1980s with her self-titled debut album, which spawned several chart-topping hits, including Saving All My Love for You and Greatest Love of All. Her powerful voice made her a global superstar. Whitney Houston continued to achieve success throughout her career, becoming one of the best-selling music artists of all time. Behind the scenes, she battled with substance abuse, particularly with drugs like cocaine and marijuana. The pressures of fame, personal relationships, and the demands of the music industry took a toll on her mental and emotional well-being. Despite attempts to seek help and overcome her addiction, she found it difficult to break free from its grip. On February 11, 2012, she was found dead in her hotel room in Beverly Hills. The official cause of death was ruled as accidental drowning, with heart disease and cocaine use listed as contributing factors. Jimmy Jamison, the lead vocalist of the rock band Survivor, also battled addiction. Born in 1951 in Mississippi, Jamison's soaring vocals and charismatic stage presence solidified his place in rock music. Jamison joined Survivor in 1984, taking over as the lead vocalist after the departure of their original singer. His contributions to the band included hits like Burning Heart and The Search Is Over, which showcased his impressive vocal range and emotional delivery. Jamison's talent and dedication helped revive Survivor's success and cemented their place in rock history. Behind the scenes, Jamison battled with substance abuse, particularly with drugs like cocaine and alcohol. On August 31, 2014, tragedy struck when Jamison was found dead in his home in Memphis, Tennessee. The official cause of death was ruled as a hemorrhagic brain stroke, with atherosclerotic cardiovascular disease and methamphetamine intoxication listed as contributing factors. Jamison's passing at the age of 63 left fans mourning the loss of a talented vocalist and a beloved figure in the rock music community. Prince was another superstar whose struggles with addiction contributed to his untimely demise. The iconic musician and multi-instrumentalist left an indelible mark on the music industry with his innovative sound and boundary-pushing artistry. Born in 1958 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, Prince's unique blend of funk, rock, and pop captivated audiences. Prince's musical genius was evident from a young age, as he mastered various instruments and showcased his songwriting prowess. Hits like Purple Rain and When Doves Cry and Kiss solidified his status as a musical legend. Prince's flamboyant style, electrifying performances, and provocative lyrics challenged societal norms and inspired countless artists. Behind the scenes, Prince battled with substance abuse, particularly with opioids. On April 21, 2016, Prince was found unresponsive in his Paisley Park estate. The official cause of death was ruled as an accidental overdose of fentanyl, a powerful opioid. The king of pop, Michael Jackson, also struggled with addiction. Born in 1958 in Gary, Indiana, MJ's immense talent and showmanship made him one of the most influential artists of all time. His career began at a young age as a member of the Jackson 5 alongside his siblings. His solo career took off in the 1980s with the release of his critically acclaimed album Thriller, which became the best-selling album of all time. Hits like Billie Jean, Beat It, and Thriller showcased his unmatched talent for blending pop, R&B, and dance. Behind the scenes, Michael Jackson battled with substance abuse, particularly with prescription drugs. The pressures of fame, personal relationships, and the demands of the music industry took a toll on his mental and physical well-being. On June 25, 2009, tragedy struck when he was found unresponsive in his Los Angeles home. The official cause of death was ruled as acute propofol and benzodiazepine intoxication, administered by his physician. His impact on popular culture and his contributions to music cannot be overstated. His groundbreaking music videos, mesmerizing dance moves, and powerful vocals continue to inspire generations of artists. Despite his struggles, his musical legacy remains unparalleled. Chris Kelly's death in 2013 added him to the list of artists who struggled with substance addiction and tragically lost their lives. If you enjoyed this video, click on the card showing on your screen right now for more videos.